I'm a fighter, always have been. In the ring and in business. 30 years of battles, rising, falling, rebuilding. I've made money, I've lost money, but it wasn't until I created Zapata Systems was I able to really climb my way out. But the toughest fight, it wasn't physical. It was watching money walk out the door week after week, whether to vendors charging too much or labor not justifying the revenue. That money stress, it doesn't always stay at work. It follows you home, turns into arguments, cold dinners, and broken peace. And then there's the IRS, back taxes, deadlines, pressure you can't punch your way out of. Zapata Systems shows you what you're really paying. It gives you control, leverage, and savings. This isn't about surviving. It's about winning. You're in a fight. Start acting like it. Zapata Systems. Fight smarter.
What's up, guys? We are live. It's Thursday. I'm Joe Zapata, and I'm with my boy Gregg Valentino. What's up, Gregorio?
What is going on, guys? How
What
you doing,
is happening? Not much, man. Not much, man. Still getting over Hulk Hogan passing away.
Yeah, I hear you. I
Big
think
news.
even Ron Simmons here says, "Damn."
Damn. Our friend Dan, what's up? Joe and Gregg.
Hey, Dan,
What's going on, Dan? Everything.
How you doing?
We were talking before the call about Joey Swole, that whole incident. Hopefully he'll come back onto social media eventually. I hope.
Yeah, but the whole
kind of crazy.
I don't watch his videos, or I don't really watch many videos. Do you understand what I'm saying? So but he doesn't seem like a bad guy. He seems like a nice guy, and he does positive stuff. But you can't let these fucking trolls do that to you. That's what they want to see, is that you and to sit there and say, I need to re-educate myself and all that stuff, because you use the word color, as colored people, you know what I'm saying? What's the difference? Now they say people of color. What's the difference? Colored people, people of color. You just change the word people and color back. But when you say shit like that, look what happened with Schwarzenegger, right? I'm going to give you two examples. Let me give you Schwarzenegger back in the day said, they're a bunch of girly men. So fucking a lot of gay people and all of the left got crazy and said, he needs to apologize. That's that's derogatory, saying girly men. And Schwarzenegger came out and said, you know why you guys are upset? Because you're a bunch of girly men. So he said it again, right? To fuck you. Well, then you get the opposite. You got, what's his name? Don Imus, who said nappy-headed hose, right?
Yep.
And then he cried. I need to re-educate myself. I can't believe I said, same thing with nothing but Andrew Dice Clay, where he cried when they said he was too anti-woman. And he said, let me tell you, nobody loves women more than me. And he cried on stage. Dude, you can't do that. You can't do that. You fucking make yourself look weak. And then when you try to come back in 3 months from now, if you're not making scuttle, and you got to come back on the social media, I just want to say, then you make yourself look. Just stop the shit. Joe, if you're watching this, I've met you before. You and I, we talked and stuff. He's a good guy, and he does positive things. Just do positive shit. Just say, hey, listen, you guys you little crybabies out there, you little fucking pussies that cried. He said colored people. He talked about Hulk Hogan. Dude, I fucking threw Hulk Hogan under the bus. I don't give a fuck. I mean, Hogan was a good guy, but he started that I don't take steroid shit. Come on, stop that, But regardless, I ain't apologize for anything, bro. I want to apologize to simply no one, right? What does Conor McGregor say? I apologize to simply no one. But the thing is, sorry, not sorry. Just fucking do it. You said, so what? You said colored people. It's the people of color, colored people. What the fuck? So what? Don't quit. Do the opposite. Joe, if you're watching this, do the opposite. Just go out there and make more videos. Fuck the little pussies that are butthurt. Everybody's butthurt today. You kid, you're giving them what they want.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my grandmother grew up and she would say coloreds. But that's what the time, it's a different time.
Listen, I think I've told you the story. well, my parents were very ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? My parents, when they were, young, they went to like nightclubs, they had gay friends, and all that shit, right? And this is in the fucking 40s and 50s. My parents would be 100 years old right now, almost 100, 97, 98. All right. And my father, one time when I was a kid, we would crack geodes in the backyard. I think I told you the story, didn't I? Or I might have told George when we did the
yeah, that's right.
And my father was breaking the geodes, the stones, right? And he opened them up, and there's all like crystals and shit. And it was for those kids. I was in 5th grade, right? And this kid in my class, who I was friends with, anytime, like if you kicked a home run, if you kicked when I say home run is in kick ball, if you did something, whatever he did, he would always say the end ball, N-I-G-G, the end ball wins them all. Meaning, like, in pool, when you shoot the black, you shoot the 8 ball, goes in a corner, right? And you win. Right? So he used to say the end ball wins them all. So when my father opened up the crystals, I said the end, I said the word, right? End ball wins them all. Now I was what, however old you are in 5th grade. My father grabbed me, lifted me up off the friggin' ground, but with one hand and said to me, "Don't ever say that word in front of me again. Do you hear me? Don't ever use that word." Now, my father's old school Italian, but he didn't believe in that kind of shit. My parents had little liberal thinking. They were conservative, but liberal at the same time. I feel I'm that way too, but you can't, color people. What do they say today? People of color. Well, what's the difference if you change the word around? Colored people, people of color. It doesn't matter. That doesn't, well, I don't get pissed when somebody says white people. I'm like, come on, motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm not white. I'm beige, whatever.
Keith, our man, Keith, man. Joe and Gregg, 2028 for president.
What's up, Keith?
Dan says, I'm not familiar with Joey. I watched Johnny Bravo's video about him. That's the first time I've heard of him. He's actually pretty big. He's got, like you said, what's up?
He's a nice guy. Listen, guys,
followers.
I don't watch his videos. I don't. But a few times people sent me his video. I don't watch anybody's videos. So it's not like him. I'm not really big. I do watch Johnny Bravo's videos and stuff because he's my friend. But Joey Swole actually does positive stuff. He does do positive stuff. He doesn't really bash people or, if you're a child molester, he does and stuff. But what I'm saying is he's a positive guy. And I think you need more guys like him around. So I don't think that he should quit. On the contrary, I think he should go like this, give the double finger. Because then you're feeding the trolls. That's what they want. I got him to quit.
Yep. Dan says, think before you speak. Yep, that's right. Dean says, I learned of Gregg and MD Ramblin' Freak column back in 2000. I'm not too big with everyone in the BB circle. How is Joe involved with Gregg? Me and Gregg are just friends for a while. I guess.
You mean Joe Zapata?
Me, I guess he's talking, or Joe.
We've been friends. Yeah, we were friends before we started the show. We didn't start the show.
We were
friends before that. Joe's the one who brought Joe. Joe was in my house with Lee
Priest.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. John Scuderi said he folded like a lawn chair. Yes, he did.
John Scuderi, what are you doing, John?
Joe Zapata. Oh, me, Dean. Yes. Well, like I said, I used to work out once in a while, strong and shapely.
Okay, Don. Yeah.
I've been over there when I was young. I was 18. I met Gregg at the Sound Factory
many times. Yeah, we've known each other a while. Many times.
The dude, 1983. We got Bush, Harry Pie.
We got Bush, hair pie. It's hair pie. Remember the movie? I always use that example. My arm keeps getting tired. But I always use that example because remember in Revenge of the Nerds when the chicks were all there and the Chinese guy and the redhead guy was sitting there and the redhead guy's I think he just came in his pants and he looked down and the Chinese guy's looking left, looking right and goes, "Oh, hair pie." You know what I mean? That's where I always get that expression from.
So I don't know if you saw on Friday, Happy Gilmore debuted. Now,
yeah, I saw actually somebody has.
So I put a quick screenshot. If right over here in the corner, you can see me in the background, right over here.
Yeah, in the back. That's Joe.
That's me. But I was like in a couple other things.
Joe, that almost looks like your brother. Look, go back to that position. Doesn't it look like George a little bit to the left, right here in the wait? I'm over here. I know that's but just for the beard and the mustache and shit.
Yes, it does.
Split second. I don't know from the side view. And not that George looks anything like what the hell's his name? Adam Sandler. No. But he does look good. He does. That picture for split second. I was like,
I was in a couple scenes over there that I saw myself in, but it was, if you blink, you miss me because, they're, but dude, I knew everything.
Me and my ex-wife and all my friends did the Goodfellas thing. And, it was filmed at Boys and Girls High School. We were extras in that one. And we were in I didn't even see like this. I don't think I saw myself. It was terrible. You know what I mean? But it was at Boys and Girls High School. It wasn't a prison. Anyway.
Richard Roman says, Gregg, do you still eat butthole?
The fuck yeah. What are you crazy? That's my favorite.
Luciana said yes. Zapata and Greg, what's going on?
What's going on, Luciana?
The dude, 1983, Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes, Revenge of. That's where we got it from. Oh, hat pie.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep. Skip Milligan, what's going on, Skip? What's going on?
Skip, what are you doing? How you doing? I'm sorry.
Revenge of the Nerd. The dude says, I'm 42 and grew up watching that. I turned out fine.
Yes, me too, brother. I love all that shit.
What does it say?
Richard, how you doing?
Dan, I haven't watched Happy Gilmore 2 yet. I'll keep an eye out for you, Joe. Yes, I'm in a couple scenes at the end when they have the final face-off. It was, and
Joe, I can send you a link to that. Like, I can get it bootleg. I can send a link. You could watch it.
Oh, all the stuff. That's how you watch it.
Yeah, watch bootleg. But I mean, it's not like one of those where you see somebody in the movie theater walking by the screen and shit. It's not one of those. It's a legitimate. It's a normal. It's like same version they play in a movie theater, but it's not like filmed in a movie theater. It's a legit version.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I'll look at it. I like Happy Gilmore. It was a great movie.
Yeah, the second one is not that good. Trust me, the second one's not that good.
How many fucking sequels are really as good as this?
No, sequels are never that great.
It's just like bands. I don't care how many. Like Black Sabbath was great with Ozzy, but it wasn't the same with Ronnie James Dio. Sorry, it's like Van Halen. It wasn't the same with Sammy Hagar. You cannot compare fucking David Lee Roth in his prime with Sammy Hagar. Sorry.
The dude, 1983. I eat that balloon knot.
There you go. That a boy.
Dean says, I found out about these guys from MD still shooting the shit on YouTube about 4 months ago. You need to make your own magazine and put it out there. The magazine days were awesome. Yeah, they were, weren't they?
Well, Joe Pietaro still has the magazines. And Joe, I got Joe Zapata. We're going to do something. He's going to bring Joe into it. Okay, so, but we do still do it. I think Romano still writes there. Lee Priest was writing there. It's ironic because a lot of dead guys were. Piano wrote for it.
Boston Lloyd
wrote for it. Jerry Ward wrote for it. I mean, I'm still there, still do Ramblin' Freak, but it's called Talking Smack. It's crazy shit. It's good stuff, but we'll get that going another way.
Yeah. Let's see. Dean Keith says there's no money in the magazine business anymore. Well, you would know with Joe Pietaro.
Yeah, there really isn't, but there's some people like Dean just said, there's some people who just I don't know, it's kind of cool to still have a magazine and read it. It's just, you know what I mean? I understand. Listen, I still use CDs in the car. Okay. I don't fucking sit there. I don't even know how to get that shit on my phone. You know what I mean? I'm so bad with that. I have no idea. I only know how to answer the phone. When I text, I usually text from my computer here, but lately that hasn't been doing so. I don't know. I lost the connection somehow. Or I have my girlfriend. I'll say, yo, text Joe, tell him I'll be up. I'll be there in 2 minutes. Like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Greg will be there in 2 minutes. Whatever. So I'm Greg, with that.
I was going to ask you, Greg.
Yeah.
Old school bodybuilding. Who was bigger, Mike Mentzer or his brother? Like bigger. You know them both.
Ray Mentzer. Yeah, I knew them both. Ray Mentzer was a little bit taller, so I think he was a little bit more like a bigger framed guy. Mike Mentzer was more compact and jacked. It was good. They were both good. Even though they were brothers, they had a totally different build. I think that Mike had a little bit more, of that X factor. You know what I'm saying?
Were they both nuts?
Mike went further than, but they both. I mean, he won. I think they both won in Mr. America. Well, no, wait a minute. Ray won the America, but Mike won. I think the Universe. I'm not sure, something like that. The Universe posed that, and that's how he became a pro.
Luciano said Ray was taller, Mike was wider.
That's what I just said. Ray was a bigger guy, taller. So his frame was bigger than Mike's, because I know them both in person extremely well. Mike Mentzer sat in my gym like this with my friend. He came there with my friend, not to work out, just to sit there. And when he sat there watching me work out, he critiqued every fucking thing I did.
Now, what about personality wise? Were they different?
Totally
both nuts.
Totally, both of them are nuts. Mike Mentzer used to drink and smoke like a fiend. So did Ray Mentzer.
Yes.
Ray Mentzer was a little bit more angry. Mike Mentzer was definitely. They're both out there. Both of them were a little bit out there. You know what I mean? Like, they had unique personalities. Mike was very intelligent. Ray was like fucking, you can catch him one day. He'd be like, hey, Joe, how you doing? The next day you could talk to him. He won't even answer. You could say, hey, Ray, how you doing? And he wouldn't even look at you past you. Like one of the moody motherfuckers. I hate moody people, because I'm in the same, even if shit's bugging me, I'm in the same mood all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm the same way all the time. I don't walk around moody. You know what I mean? I hate somebody that today they're nice and tomorrow they don't even say hello to you. One day they talk your ear off, the next day you say hello to them. At best you get is a nod like that. I hate that. And that's the way Ray was.
Todd Morrissey, our buddy. What's up, Todd?
Todd, I know Todd.
I've always buy a physical book as well as the audio book. Yeah, me too, actually. I like having the physical book, kicking it back and reading.
That's true. That's another thing. Like I don't know who read, I have 2 books out, right? So my one book, Death, Drugs, and Muscle, which is big, was a good seller. Of course, I don't get shit because, I get very a pittance because I have the worst contract with the publishing company. Go figure. But I don't know. Somebody read it. So if you hear there's an audio book, I've had guys in the gym that didn't even know me, and they're like, "Wait a minute, dude! Holy shit! Guy came off a treadmill like a couple months ago, and he's going, dude, I'm listening to a fucking Death, Drugs, and Muscle. That's you, right? Like, I'm listening to that right now." And I could hear the guy. Yes, I went in the store and it's not me that's reading. A lot of times the author's the guy that reads it. But if you get Death, Drugs, and Muscle in my book, that's not me.
Yeah, we always had books growing up, always had books. I mean, I remember being a kid having like the Sears catalog come to your house with, you go through that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I showed my son one time the yellow pages from an old, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" I said, "This is how we got numbers." I said, "This is how we got numbers back in the day."
Dude, that's funny. We used to I used to jerk off to the freaking girls in bras and panties because when you're a young kid, we didn't even see porn. And when I was younger, you remember I was young in the '60s where I Dream of Jeannie couldn't wear couldn't show the belly button. So you were in there and you're looking to Sears catalog and there's a girl and her belly button showing. We were like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? You get a boner and shit.
Yeah.
Because it was saying the same shit. You get a boner looking at that shit.
I had a friend in my class who used to get those National Geographic ones.
Oh yeah.
Those African tribes with their naked. He'd be whacking off.
That too, but they didn't really turn me on when they had pancakes on you.
That's true. AR said, Greg, what was your relationship like with Lee Thompson? Do you have any crazy stories of him?
Yeah, he's a good guy. I like Lee Thompson, but he got ousted for there's a lot. He went from being like fucking Big Willie in the Mr. Olympia, the judging and all that shit, to being fucking thrown to the wolves.
Yeah,
I like him. He's a good guy. He's all the Christian stuff. I think he's a minister now. What's funny? Who said that to me?
AR.
Man, I haven't talked to Lee Thompson in a while. Holy shit. Wow. Thanks for reminding me because he's a good guy. I gotta message him. It's been a long time. It's been like 15 years or something. It's been a while.
Wow. Luciano said Ray was more aesthetic too, my opinion.
Ray was a little bit, I don't know, aesthetic. I'm not sure. Ray was a bigger guy, and I think I'll tell you what I think. Who said that? Luciano.
Luciano, yeah.
Yeah, I think Ray was harder than Mike. He was like more muscular than Mike. But Mike had a little bit more of a, Ray's waist was a little more wider. Ray was more rugged, and Mike was smaller but thicker. You know what I'm saying? It was a unique. The two brothers were unique, but let me tell you something. There were some fucking wacky guys. Even my boy, one of our guys. Sometimes he jumps on here on the show. I don't know if he's here. If he is here, make your name, say something. Jacob Anderson. You know who Jacob Anderson is, right?
Yes, I know. Yep.
Okay. Jacob Anderson once hired, I think, Mike to do like some training with him, and he was even saying, bro, the first thing he'd do is fucking open up that trunk, and there'd be like bottles of fucking vodka in there, and he'd be pounding that. And that's the truth. That's the way he was.
Yeah, the way he was.
He was a fucking constant with a cigarette, bro. Smoked like a fucking shit. Like a sip, both of them. Yeah, I have great Ray Mentzer stories. I mean, I can't, I don't want to start getting into that now because then we'll go over an hour and Joe will be like, shut up. But
well, I do know Ray Mentzer that they were doing a documentary and they had a time limit and a budget, and they were going over budget because he kept taking cigarette breaks. And the guys told him, they said, "You got to stop. We got to film this."
Mike was like that too, but Mike would go off into just the tangents and stuff and get into whereas Ray was in almost bitter and he would get. I liked Ray, but there's two Rays. Which Ray? He's like Sybil. He's got all these different personalities. Like, who are we today, Sybil? We're like that guy in the movie with my girl, Anja Taylor-Joy, which I would live in a bathroom a week just to smell one of her turds. But she was in that movie. Was it where where she got abducted and the guy, I forgot, what's it called? Break or whatever the fucking broke. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And that guy, he had all these personalities, the Beast. And then he had one, Jane, where he was a woman. I don't know what I'm doing here. And then the next minute, like he's the Beast. And then he's a little boy. The Beast is going to come get you, you know? Like that's the way Ray was. You don't know what personality, you know, when you see him in the gym.
Yeah. Keith said, from what I heard, the brothers were a little loco. Didn't they do a little bit of
crazy?
Like they do some drugs before they worked out, I think.
They did a lot of drugs. I'm not sure what party drugs they did. I don't want to. I know that they did do shit.
I know they did too.
But I don't know which ones. I can't tell you. You know, again, when I was with Mike Mentzer, I was with both. But Mike, would he be at my gym? He'd sit there fucking smoking. He'd go outside the gyms, come stink like cigarettes. 2 minutes later, next butt comes in, goes back out. He critiqued, you know, because I'm the opposite of everything he does, you know, except for legs. And then, you know, with legs, I do heavy duty. And heavy duty, you idiots, doesn't mean lift heavy weights. It means hit. It's like it's the Arthur Jones theory. Take a weight that you can work with to get about 9-10 reps. And then after that, that's when the set begins. You get another like 20, 30, 40 reps beyond that. Like, you know, Dorian Yates would do a set. One set would last 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? 3 minutes.
Wow.
That's, you know, some stripped away to it isn't keep going stripped away till you can't do to failure. That's the way I do my quads. But, you know, I do fucking 100 sets for everything else, you know, and he was being like, well, you're not really giving it all you have if you're doing 100 sets. And I said, yes, I am. I'm cutting the rest periods. And, we clashed, him and I, but, you know, we got along, but we, you know, when it came to that shit, I didn't want to hear it.
Yeah. You did legs actually, I think last week. You almost threw up at the gym. What happened?
Yeah. What was happening? I was holding back the hurl. Yes.
What happened? I saw a video.
Listen, there's seems like there's two types of trainers in this world, Joe, and I'm not sure which one you are. I think I know. I can't, there's some guys who have to train fast. I need kind of an empty stomach. Not me. You know, like Arnold. Okay. The Barbarian Brothers would throw up. I've seen him throw up and throw a mat over, leave it right there on the floor. Right there, fucking throw a mat over to hide it. You know, they puked one time and I was with this Mexican chick, it shot all over her feet. They were fucking great, but if they used to drink carob, CAROB, which is like
chocolate milk,
like an organic chocolate mimicker.
Yeah,
and they would drink that milk, and then they would puke milk up on the floor. So, you know, Arnold, if he had food in his stomach, didn't feel right, would feel like he was going to throw up. I can tell you that for a fact. I was in a gym. Now, me, I'm the opposite. I could have a banquet meal and have to I'd have to, you know, I can't have the food still up to here, but if I gave like an hour after a banquet meal, I'd have a fucking pump and a training set, and I'd have energy where I could fucking probably do 100 reps. You know what I mean? On a like that. So this day, I didn't really eat much, but I did have strength because I was really tired, right? So I took a little bit of ephedrine. Don't tell anybody. Okay, I took a little bit of ephedrine. Okay. Okay, Joe, don't tell anybody. It's just between us. So I took a little bit of ephedrine. So you know what that meant? I meant I was strong and I was flying because I'm already nuts. Right now I'm tired and look at a fucking I don't shut up. So you can imagine me on ephedrine. Like that. So I'm in there and I'm fucking hanging and banging. And I don't normally get 90 reps. I usually get 70, sometimes like maybe 85 in that ballpark. Sometimes 74, sometimes 80, sometimes fucking 71, sometimes 70, sometimes 68. But this day, every once in a while, I hit 90 or 91, 92. Now, this day I got 90, but I didn't have enough in me. So all of a sudden, here it comes. And I feel the nauseousness. And it's like I'm over the garbage pail. And I'm like, oh, God. Because after I did the leg press, I went to leg curls. And I was so amped that I did like 50 sets in 15 minutes. That's a set. Like literally, I would do a set and then wait like 5 seconds and then go again and then go again and then go again and then go. So by the time in the middle of towards the end, I had to puke. It was right here, Joe.
Ooh.
I was like, oh no, oh fuck. It happens every once in a while. And it's not good, guys. Don't think that that's good. Okay. That's not a good thing. All right.
Oof.
Yeah.
Dan said, Greg, how did Mr. G's cookies sell in Alabama?
They actually, you know what's funny? He actually sold the whole thing to some guy who was in a lobby selling like some organic mushroom coffee or some shit. And, you know, he wound up selling the whole thing. And I think that's because Dave told him, dude, what are you doing? Why don't you go out there and make a deal with the guy? And I think Dave brought him out because I was there too, you know, with him. But, you know, I was talking with Jimmy and we were doing something else, was, you know, fucking around with the girl that was out there, you know?
Yeah. John Saldy. Hey boys, sorry I'm late.
John
Hey, John,
Saldy, how you doing,
John
my
actually had
brother?
a tough time, man. He almost checked out, John.
I know, John, but you know what, John? Good thing we didn't lose John, because we need John. Because John, the Yankees made some fairly okay trades today. We got like 5 guys, man, in the last couple of days. So
we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We'll talk about that, Johnny. But John, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit better. Dean said, I don't know how, Keith, when 90% of the info was good and direct, the social media stuff, not all, a lot, clouds it a lot, misguided junk.
Dean, listen, you couldn't have said the more truer words, because let me explain something to you. When you do a magazine article, okay, now I didn't do like scientific shit, obviously, but when you do magazine articles, okay, they go through editors, and they tried to. Steve Bleckman was anal about, like, especially with nutrition and training and everything, and he wanted shit legit, and he liked cutting edge stuff, so he wouldn't, promote bullshit that's not gonna, you understand what I'm saying? Plus, on the internet, you'll have one guy tell you, I've watched people say, don't take vitamin D. Do you know what vitamin D does to you? Then, oh, it's got to take vitamin D. Creatine. Oh, creatine's terrible for you. Other people, creatine helps, with dementia, this, that, So you're like, what the fuck do I do? I don't know what to do. How many guys talk about SARMs, right? Oh, SARMs, they're great for you. Well, all the pro bodybuilders I know, the Mr. Olympia guys, none of them do SARMs, okay? But if you watch these other guys, they'll give you, like, YouTubers, like, they're scientific, right? I have a scientific thing right here that says that, SARMs are better than steroids because it bypasses the mitochondria, the nucleus of the cell. And if the nucleus, and you're sitting there going, well, I don't know what to fucking believe. I don't know who to fucking believe it. So that's the problem with the internet. And you're listening to these guys that have been training for 3 or 4 years, and now they're fucking experts, You don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Everybody and their brother who trains is, I'm a coach now, certified personal trainer. It's all bullshit. And that's the problem. The magazines have to go through editing and all that shit. And they were a little bit more anal about what they did. Yeah. The only good thing about the internet is breaking news. You know what I'm saying? You can find out who won Mr. Olympia if that's what you give a shit about right then and there.
Greg, I see a lot of these guys now on social media with these new guys. They're doing these new movements with weight. Now they're doing weird exercises. And they're like, this is, back in old school ways, Arnold did it. You did it only a certain way, and that's how you grew. Now these guys are like, curl like this and turn your head right and move your leg back, and you'll be getting bigger.
That kid, what's that fucking kid's name? They had to fight with Van Wyck, the big guy Van Wyck, which the kid kind of caused that problem, that natural kid. But he was doing these curls on the internet where it's like behind him, he would curl like this. He would have like a cable machine, right? And he'd take the cable and he'd keep his arm behind him, and he would curl something like this. Like that.
Yeah,
right?
I see something like, I'm like,
and he was like, that's the real way. That gets the bicep by doing the mitochondria and the microfibrils and it bypasses the. And I see young kids in the gym, and I said, where the fuck did you see that? And they're like, oh, and they say that guy's name, and I'm like, these guys, they do this shit because they're trying to. What can I do different than this?
Yes, exactly.
There's no secrets to building muscle. Okay. No. You got, the only secret is to learn what's right for you. That's the only difference. What I do and what you do are two different things. Okay. It doesn't mean that what I have the answer. I've unlocked the answers for me. And if I don't train people, I don't like doing that shit anymore. I am sick of that. But if I was to train somebody, the first thing I do is find out what's right for them. I don't make them do what I did. You understand? Or every guy that I would be working with does. I used to train guys for contests all the time, and I didn't train them, each one the same way. Each guy's different. You understand? So you can't go by that.
Yeah.
There's no standard way. But we all have one thing in common: curls build biceps. It's how you execute that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And how you train what's right for you, whether it's heavier weight, more rep, like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw some guy doing tricep pull downs, and he said, hold it there for 30 seconds, let it up slow, do that 3 times, and you're good for the day. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, whatever. These fucking people, man.
No, but these guys don't. They're in, and that's why Dean is right. That's where the problem is with the internet. You don't know who to believe. You don't know who to believe. The SARMs.
And they'll get pro cards. And they'll get a pro card.
Well, anybody could get a pro card today. Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Get your pro cards here. Soon they're going to have them on the back of milk cartons like they used to do for the Mets in 1970.
Yeah, mail it in.
In the 1970s, used to cut out.
You got it in.
Yeah.
Dan said Marianne from Gilligan's Island was smoking. Yeah, I was a Marianne
Yeah,
fan.
I went from Marianne, then one movie, then Ginger would wear a bikini the next day, so I'd be like, you know what, Ginger, and then all of a sudden Marianne would be. I did everything. I might have even beat off to Mrs. Howell.
Mrs. Howell, really? You got Mrs. Howell, Lovey?
I might have. I don't know, Lovey. Lovey. Do you know that? That's Mr. Magoo. That's you know that,
yes.
right?
Yes. That's you know, and like I think he was like he's like you're older than that guy now when he was playing the character. I think he was like 50. He was like 50 playing that character.
Joe, I'm gonna blow your mind. Joe, wait, how old are you again? I always get you. Okay, you're 50. Guess what, Joe? Guess what? You're the same age that or maybe 1 year younger at the most. Then what's his name was Red Fox when he did Sanford and Son. He started, I think, when he was 51 or 52. He looked. Right. They made him look like an old man with all that, and he walked and shuffled. But he was only 51. I'm fucking 55, 65. I'm fucking like 13 years older than fucking than fucking that guy. And
yeah. And you're older than the guy who played Archie Bunker. I think he was 50 when he played that role.
Yeah, Archie Bunker. That was great shit, though. All those guys. Because, I mean, I take care of myself.
You know? Exactly. They're not. A lot of people that, if you look at the old 70s stuff, people who were like,
oh, dude, they're fucking
like, what the fuck, man? What are you doing?
Joe, back in the day, a guy in his 40s was playing like an older man, like, a father in a movie and shit. Today, you get Sylvester Stallone, right? And if you saw Sylvester Stallone with some old lady who's like fucking 80 years old, he's like 78, 79 now, Stallone. So if you had a girl his age, you'd be like, dude, what the fuck's he doing with that old lady? You see him with some hot chick, You're like, dude, that works. Same thing with Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's 62, right?
Yeah. It looks great. Luciano says, Zapata, how about interview of Vic DeBetto, a hilarious guy, a Jersey guy? Yes, I know Vic. He goes to the
I know Vic. Vic knows Joe. You should use my name. Vic knows me.
Yeah. Actually, I'm good friends with a comedian. I don't know if people know this. His name is Derek Stroop. He's an up-and-coming comedian. He's very funny, Derek. His name is Derek Stroop. He's really funny. He's on YouTube. He's actually going to be. He's a friend of mine. He was at a Stress Factory in New Brunswick.
But nice DiPatetto knows me. I know Vic. Get the milk and bread. He's funny. Yeah. I like when he goes off on the Yankees. You motherfucking cocksuckers. I love that.
Dean said, I think I'll make a return. Lots of info getting too diluted.
Dude, you know what you do? Talk to Joe Pietaro, message him from Mount Muscle Sport Mag, and tell him you want to see Joe Zapata on it. Because he's going to talk with Joe. Yeah, he's going. By the way, Joe, he's going away tomorrow or tomorrow Saturday. He's going away for 2 weeks, and then he'll be back. He'll be in Europe for 2 weeks.
So you guys are not doing a show? Are you guys doing a show?
Yeah, for the next 2 weeks, there'll be no show. But when he comes back, I know he wants to talk to you, your brother George.
Oh yeah, we got to get that together. Yep. Yeah, it was Teddy Atlas's birthday. It was Teddy Atlas's birthday, and then Teddy had some surgery. So we were talking with Teddy, but yeah, he just had his birthday and stuff.
God bless Teddy. Happy birthday. He's a good man.
Yeah, he's a good man. Hey Joe, what New York T-shirt is that? Yankees? I said no. This is just a Under Armour dumbbell training.
Nice.
Shirt, as
long as it's New York. See, Joe's New Jersey, but he's a New Yorker.
Yeah, I'm a New Yorker. See, because I'm right there. I'm right by the.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Lincoln Tunnel's 2 minutes away.
John Scuderi, New York, New Jersey, bro. It's the same. The Giants, the New York Giants, the Jets, the fucking Knicks, all them fucking. None of them, none of them fucking play in New York. They play in Jersey. It's right across the border. Bob Bonham, one time we had a race, him and I, right? We left Midtown Manhattan, Times Square. Okay, see who could get home first. Well, I knew he was going to beat me. I wasn't even out of the city yet. I was still up in Washington Heights. He had already made home in 9 minutes. Go right through the Lincoln Tunnel, and he comes right out where he lives. He lives right by WOR TV station.
Yep.
Right there. Yep. What's that? I forgot
Secaucus.
Secaucus. He come right out of the fucking tunnel.
Go right there.
So he made it from Times Square, New York City. The Lincoln Tunnel's a couple blocks away in Times Square. For you fucking momos that don't know anything about New York City, it's a couple blocks away. You go in the Lincoln Tunnel, come right out, and you're in Jersey. 9 minutes. He made it home in 9 minutes from Midtown Manhattan. Yeah,
because you got the traffic from the cross, the Bronx and the
right. That's fucking horrendous. You know what
I
mean?
That is a fucking
dude. The LIE in Long Island's the fuck.
Oh my God, they need to just throw a bomb in that place. Oh, that traffic is so bad.
That's why when I was talking to Jimmy Pellecci, Jimmy the Bull, he was telling me, bro, when I get up to your fucking house, it takes me too long to get. I'm like, well, that's because you're coming from Long Island. It's not that far.
Yeah.
But that fucking shit. That road has traffic no matter what time you're on there and for no reason.
Yeah. Dean says, I remember reading Mike Mentzer would start speaking in parables at times.
He probably did. He didn't speak like that. Yes, but he was fucking crazy, bro. Because he was drunk a lot.
Yeah. Tom Morrissey, the Mentzers use amphetamines. Yes, that's what they use. That's what they use.
He used amphetamine, but they also fucked around with a lot of other shit too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything they did, Todd. I can tell you that. I don't know everything, but definitely alcohol. They were definitely drunks. I can tell you that.
I think Larry was saying in RX, Mike would do heroin. I think he's right.
Yeah. Probably.
Skip said, I'm all right. How's everyone? We're good. We're good.
How you doing, brother?
Yep. Luciana, I told Greg a similar story, feeling nauseated during a particular training session. Cold water saved my ass a couple times.
Yes, I remember Luciano saying it to me. You know what, Luciano? There's times where I go outside when it's cold, but it's fucking hot out now. So I go out. That gym is fucking cold. It's fucking freezing in here. But when I can literally wring my shirt out. That's how bad it gets. Even though it's fucking when I first get in here, I'm like, holy shit, I got to do a couple sets just to get like warmed up. You know what I mean? Because it's cold. My friend keeps that place air conditioned, like fucking like it's snowing in here.
Weren't you friends with? Obviously, you were friends with the Barbarian Brothers.
Very well.
Didn't they kill pigeons by their house or something? With you?
No. What happened was
something fucking happened. I remember
was walking by where Mike Christian used to live in a little like a hotel, like in the maid's quarters. You're talking 1981, guys.
Yeah, going back.
He wasn't even a pro bodybuilder yet, you know. And I used to go to his house and stuff. He gave me the Underground Steroid Handbook, by the way, the first one I ever got. And one time we were over there and there was a party going, there was music, and there was a balcony and there was vomit. What happened was I saw birds, all fucking pigeons all over there like this, right? And the Barbarian brother was throwing up over the fucking balcony, and fucking pigeons were eating his barf.
Oh, that's fucking
the most
nasty.
disgusting thing I've ever seen. It was fucking crazy. I was like, holy shit. And it almost hit me, you know, so because I was walking. I was on the pavement.
John said Larry used to train with Mike, and he said he always used to do meth before training. Oh,
maybe.
Yeah. Keith said a little Yankee history, you guys. Who died August 2nd, 1979? Tragic. Would that have been?
You're talking about fucking
Thurman Munson? Thurman Munson?
Yeah, Thurman Munson.
Thurman Munson. He was great. Number 15.
Because he had balls. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah, William Allen. Sorry, I'm late, guys.
William,
kick out 2 homeless guys out of my building. Jesus Christ, William. Jesus,
William,
wow.
no good.
Are they squatters?
Good.
Are they squatters, William? Or are they just people? You know, because nowadays these squatters are.
Where do you live, William? What state? What state do you live in, or what city do you live in? Because New York and New Jersey are bad about that kind of shit. Squatting. Oof.
Todd Morrissey, Greg, inquiring minds want to know: do you throw it back door every time you get down?
No, only if it's not out all the time. You know, I have sex a lot with her because she's young and she's a filthy pig. But it depends, to be honest with you. Certain days, you know, I just get the BJs. Some days you can make out, jerk off, shoot the load, eat the box, eat the ass, eat whatever, like that kind of shit. And then other days, yeah, I'll go right for the fucking gusto. I love ass, bro. I love ass. I like a small, like a little Ariana Grande with that fucking tiny skin. I love skinny girls, bro. Love them. The skinnier. I like anorexics. That's really disgusting, but I do. With a little ass like this, you spread that, and I love little asses. I love.
You don't like any bodybuilder chicks, right?
No. Bikini girls, because they're all thin. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see bikini girls up close, first of all, they wear a pound of makeup, so they look like fucking. Like fucking transsexual, like not transsexual. They look like what do you call drag queens? They have so much fucking makeup, and it's disgusting. Like wash that shit off. It's too much. The fake eyelashes and all that fucking paste on their face. But the bodies are skinny. I like them skinny and tight, little fucking can, bro. Let me tell you.
Dean says you really have to find out what actually works when it's been through several generations. Then it's found out what works and what doesn't work.
You're talking about bodybuilding? You're talking about training?
Like, with training, people find out what works. People are ridiculous.
There's no new exercises that nobody's discovered.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. To do your curls behind you like that. I mean, if you feel it and it's making you work, but that's not what's going to change your fucking working out around. What's going to change your working out is how you execute it. That is your way, the right way that seems to hit you. The rep schedule, the cutting the rest periods, the weights that you use. Everybody thinks you got to use heavy weights. Nobody fucking concentration curls. I mean, I used to, when I was juiced out of my mind, I used to do 65-pound dumbbells and shit. I actually did that when it was natural too. I couldn't even do that now if I tried. But, that I was getting 12 reps with it. You have to do what's right for you. You understand? But you got to get reps too. You can't do none of this 5-6 reps on the squat shit like I see guys do. It's not going to do dick.
Yeah, Mike Mentzer used to always say, and I do it, is for curls, straight bar curls are the best to build up.
Yeah. I kind of built my arms doing straight bar curls, and all of a sudden now, later in my life, if I do curls, which I don't often, I use just a machine because my arms are big enough. I use easy curl bar, but that's just now. Sometimes you change, but I used straight bar my whole life. I didn't like the easy curl. Now all of a sudden I like the fucking easy curl bar.
Yep. Todd Morrison says, "Let's hope you stay away from that cherry lube, Greg."
I know what he's talking about, like that Asian chick with the fucking where I was spitting out.
Todd is too funny.
That came out of her asshole.
Dan says, "The millionaire's wife." LL, Greg, you dirty dog. Talking about Miss Lovey. Lovey Howell.
Lovey.
Yeah, Lovey Howell.
Well,
Howell the third.
In the 1960s, I don't know. She once came out as like, some, they would have different shows, and I think one time she had like a mini skirt on and she was trying to be sexy, and it might have, I might have caught wood, but I was like, that's the 1960s,
She was actually the oldest one cast on that show. Apparently she was hiding her age because she was older than what they wanted originally cast for. So she was
Thurston wasn't the oldest then.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. She was old. Lovey was actually
Lovey.
Dean said they actually made flavored lube.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't like. Yeah, but I don't like that. I had a bad experience with that shit. But I don't like that. I'd rather taste the ass.
Todd Morrissey said Red Fox loved his cocaine.
I'll bet he did.
I did it. So did Richard Pryor and all those guys.
All those guys. A lot of those comedians are into. Dude, Joe Pietaro and I did one with Artie Lang. Artie Lang. You know Artie Lang?
Yeah, of course.
His whole nose was gone and everything. Artie Lang, and we did a thing with him. And when he was talking to me and Joe, he'd be like, and we would be like, wait, what?
Yeah, one of my friends was actually went to the gas station because they sent him as part of his probation. He had to work at the gas station
for what?
Probation. Artie Lang, when he got in trouble for the drugs.
Oh shit!
So part of his probation, he had to work, do community service, and work in a gas station right over there by the Meadowlands, over on the Vince Lombardi cutoff service center. You know where it is?
I know exactly where the Vince Lombardi is. He worked there.
He had to work there for community service. And everyone was going there to get gas, and they were giving him extra money. Be like, "Oh, fill up my gas. I'll give you an extra 20."
Get the fuck out of here! Imagine you get there, it's already like, "Hey, how much you want?"
And he had to do it. Yeah.
See, that's the thing about you guys. That's the thing about Jersey. Joe, I don't know. You got to tell me if it's still that way. In Jersey,
yes.
It was against the law for you to pump your own gas. You had to have. They pumped it for you.
They pump it for you here in New Jersey. Right. I think we're the only. I think us and one more state. We're the only two states that we don't pump our gas.
Right. In Jersey, they have to pump the gas for you. In New York, nobody. You got to pump your own. You lazy fuck.
Yeah. And I remember my first time, when I was going to Pennsylvania and I drove, I'd sit there waiting. I'm like, what the fuck are these people doing? I'd be beeping the horn. Like, yo, fill up the gas tank. They're like, do it yourself. Because we're so used to people coming there, washing the windows for us and doing that.
That's the way to do it, yeah. In the old days, they used to wash it, fucking do the squeegee, wash the window. When you get it filled up, they filled it up for you, and they check your oil.
They would check your oil. They do the whole fucking service. Nowadays,
now forget
about it. You're lucky they can speak English.
Dude, that's back when gas was 75 cents and fucking nobody used a credit card yet. The guy come out with a wad of dirty bills like this high.
Yep, exactly. Greg says, Greg, I know you're not a fan of Judge Janine, but she's pretty hot for her age.
No, wait a minute. Judge Janine, first of all, you had to see Judge Janine when she arrested me. She was unbelievably hot. She's very small. She had a great body, petite, hard body because she works out. Okay. Back then, she actually bleached her hair blonde. So she had blondish hair about here. She was gorgeous. Now, I am a fan of her. I've talked to her and shit. She scared shit of me because, she arrested me. But I told her, dude, I'm cool. My friend Charlie Gasparino, who works for Fox, you always see him on it. Charlie's my childhood friend. We still go out. We still hang out together. And him and her had an argument about me.
Jesus Christ.
You guys don't know. Charlie Gasparino was a boxer. That's a bad dude in a fist fight, bro. Oof.
Dean says if they made flavored lube, then they should make something like Fun Dip candy packets.
What a Fun Dip is your piece of legal. The thing is, though, I don't like the lube. I like to taste the girl. Like, I don't like, like I like making out with a chick. I like to taste the chick I'm making out with. I don't want to taste like bubble gum and shit. I don't want to, I don't want her fucking, I like to taste, I just don't want no fucking stinky down there though. If the box smells like fish, bro, I don't eat that. You got to take that we cut with, it gets cut like that. No way.
Yeah, Keith says, you believe the guy with the largest arms in the world, that would be you, Mr. Gregg. Yeah, you were.
Yeah, well, that was the
world records
back in the day, and I had the world record and all that shit. But now I don't know what I give a shit.
Yeah, when they did that whole thing with the arm thing, they cut that up. They made you look different. They cut that up.
Well, it's two different stories. If you watch the show again, okay, watch the TLC show,
the TLC special,
where they said, where I'm down there and I go, look, I got a hole in my arm. It goes in, it goes in, it goes in, right? But from taking a needle and it was an infection. Okay, that's not the same arm that was a balloon arm. You look at the tattoos, you could see. Okay, they mixed two stories together. That wasn't an infection. Okay, there was no pus, there was no oil, so it wasn't fentanyl. Okay? Nope. I drained the whole thing. There's a video of the whole thing. It took like 45 minutes, and I drained it of blood. There's just blood. There's no pus. There's no oil. It was blood because it was a hematoma. The big balloon arm was a hematoma.
Were you on the phone with Bob Bonham?
Yes.
Okay, you were on the phone with Bob Bonham in the bathroom.
Show that shit.
In your bathroom.
Yes.
In your bathroom.
I had a phone with a cord.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bob Bonham used to show that fucking video to everybody, Joe. I was actually doing a film for the BBC. It was called The Other Side of Victory. And they talked about steroids and all shit, right? And they knew I was once a natural bodybuilder and I was beating guys on steroids, blah, 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 all this bullshit. So they did this film. And then when we were at Strong and Shapely Gym, they used to have a TV right above where Bob's desk was. And it had a little VCR to it. And Bob tells the fucking film producer guys, they were there. And he goes, you got to see this fucking video of him. It's crazy. And he puts it on and they actually show a little blip of all of us guys standing there watching this. And my friend Richie Fedora says to me, oh, Gregg, you're lucky you didn't die with that. It's a hematoma, but the producers were right there. You couldn't see them because they were behind it. And the producers told Bob Bonham, I want that film. Can I have it? Bob says, Gregg, do you mind if he has it? I said, give it to him. I don't give a fuck. And then all of a sudden, I fucking 8 months later, a year later, I'm fucking at my house. And my friend who owns the gym now, Mike Jr., my childhood friend, calls me, goes, bro, my father said you're on TV right now. And I said, for what? And he goes, something about your arm exploded. And I said, that ain't me. I don't know. I never did no show with the man. I never did it. I said, what it was on? Oh, it's on TLC network. And I'm like, nah, it wasn't me. That's not me. I didn't do no show for I never did no show with man with arms exploded. And for TLC, I never did anything for them. And he goes, Gregg, I'm watching it. It's fucking you. And I go, let me see. And I click on a TV and it's me. And I go, wait a minute. I did that. That's a BBC show. The BBC sold it, and then they so it was for the BBC. That's who I did that film for.
Wow.
But listen, it was like the movie. Remember the movie with Mr. Deeds with Adam Sandler, where they made him look like he tried to kill the lady, throw the cat out the window. He was saving them.
Yes.
But they had it out for him, so they tried to they didn't have it out for me, but there was a juicy story. If you're gonna watch a show, hey, there's a show called The Man Who's Guy Who Has Such Big Arms They Exploded. What? Let me see that. And they knew that would get your.
That was the hook.
But it wasn't. It was two different arms. All you have to do is watch the tattoos, okay, on the arms. Where I said I had the infection, it goes in. That's because the emergency room doctor cut me long before that, when my girlfriend was alive. Okay, he cut me, and then it just took the let it pus. He never should have cut me. He should have just lanced it. It would have came out. But instead, he actually cut. So my muscle kind of was got a scar. It's like that, right? But the other arm, that's where the one bicep almost looked flat. The other arm was a balloon arm. I was hit by my 9-year-old son, who's now going to be 35.
Wow.
I was hit by a bat. He let go of a bat. Not like he wasn't like tough guy hitting me with a bat. He fucking let go of a bat, and it hit me here. But the whole arm blew up. It wasn't just a bite. The whole arm was like swollen.
Wow. But they used a lot of smoke and mirrors and kind of made that.
Well, they do that with a lot of shows. You know what I mean? Look at the fucking guys. Do you ever watch the movie Lone Star? You see that thing with what's his name? All that shit's fucking ugats. That guy never shot his gun one time, and he ran. There's actually videos. The Taliban released the videos. You can Google it. The real videos of the Taliban with the Lone Star, and it's on YouTube. And you hear them going, "Where are you running to, Michael? Come back!" Or whatever his name is. Not Michael. Whatever the fuck the guy's name was. What's his name there? The fuck. Yeah. He was running away, and they would tell him to come back. When they found him, his gun was never shot. Number one. And he said he ran away. And that guy, Axel, the guy that they found dead, shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
They found him 2 weeks later. And he was, don't take my word for it, Google this. He was miles and miles away in the woods, which meant he lived for days and crawled for miles. And when they got, what's his name? Okay. And he said, you know, they're all dead. That guy, Axel, was still alive. They think he lived for almost 2 weeks more.
Wow.
And he eventually died of his wounds. But they found out, don't take my word for it. Google this shit. They found out that guy was it's all bullshit. So what I'm saying is, sometimes what you see, like I said in the movie, Bigger, Faster, Stronger, sometimes what you see is what they want you to see. It's not the truth. Remember I said the guy who's got the thumb up up like this has got the middle finger under the table. Remember? That's what I said. And it's the truth. And it's the truth even now with politics and everything. So
the dude, 1983, lube ain't nothing but a good old spit can't fix. William Allen said squatters.
Yeah, no good. Yeah, bad Pittsburgh. Yeah, okay.
There's a great documentary you should watch on, I think it's Hulu or Netflix. Guy named Larry Rudolph. He's a dentist or something. He's a big game hunter. Takes his wife on a safari, kills her, but says it's an accident. Gets the insurance money, goes like 12 years spending everything because he was in the middle of like Zimbabwe when he killed her.
Yeah.
So their government is like, just pay their money or whatever. But the CIA got involved and they were like, why has he got like 10 million in life insurance? They started digging deep. And then all the things came out. He had 2 girlfriends here, 3 girlfriends here, and it all came out.
Joe, that happens a lot. Look at isn't that Vito Antifermo? Who was the other one? The boxer there. Fucking the Italian one, his Brazilian wife killed him in Brazil. Had him killed in Brazil.
That's what's his face? Toro Gotti.
Toro Gotti, that's it. Look what happened with him. A lot of people make hold on 10 seconds. I gotta pee really bad.
No problem. Ruben Sanchez, what's up, everybody? What's up, Ruben? How you been, man? Luciano says Ralphie May was hilarious. He was. Unfortunately, he was 400 plus pounds. Yes, he was. Yeah, Ralphie May was really funny. But unfortunately, he passed away. But I know Vic, and I also know, like I said, Derek Stroop. If you guys look him up, he's a comedian, up and coming comedian. He's actually pretty funny. I'm friends with him, and I'd like to get him on my podcast soon. But he's been touring, and he just was at New Jersey Stress Factory Comedy Club. I actually am friends also with Tracy Morgan, but I don't see him a lot. He's always all over the place. But I do text him once in a while. William Allen, I bought an entire block. It's an empty building now. It gets knocked down for luxury apartments. Holy shit, William! Wow. And then I first got another place. Luciano said Ralphie drank a lot as well. Yes, he did.
Ralphie who?
Ralphie May, the big fat comedian.
Oh yeah. He's dead, ain't he? Or no?
Yes, he is dead. Correct. Rick Simon, Oregon. Yes, Oregon.
A lot of those guys. That's why they're not really funny. That's to hide. Like they're really sad people. Some of them.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of them have problems, and they kind of hide that. By the
way, this is just club soda.
Club soda. Luciano says, any Hess gas stations left? Remember them? No, there's no Hess.
There's not Hess in Jersey. That was a Jersey thing mostly.
Yes, and that was owned by Leon Hess, who owned the Jets. That's why it was those colors, the green. Makes but now sense. I think they're BP now or something. They were bought out, whatever.
BP and Hess is now BP.
I think Hess was sold off.
You might be right because BP is green and
BP. Yeah. So you have to fill up your gas tank in New York, right? You have to fill that up, right?
Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah.
Like you do it yourself, right? Do the pump?
Yeah. Fuck that. Nobody else does it. I try to get the Mexican to go out and do it. She don't want to do it.
Luciano says Janine looks damn good for 70. I always thought she was Spanish.
Yeah, you got to see her in person. No, she married into Italian. She actually acts Italian. She cooks Italian food. She's very big with Italian culture, but she's Lebanese.
Todd Morrissey says it smells like fish. It's not a tasty dish.
No. Dude,
that's funny.
The only fish, I don't even eat fish anymore. You know what I mean? But I
usually tell a story about that on Generation Iron. You went with some girl and she had like low tide.
Oh, I've been at a low tide, bro. It smelled like Sheepshead Bay. You know what I'm saying? When the fucking tide is out, you're like, whoa! What the fucking, what the fuck died over here? Yeah, man, I've had a lot of that shit. The one I told the one I told on here was the one with the fucking where I was eating the ass in the fucking the cherry lube. It was, I think, strawberry lube actually. And I thought it was like, I'm like, okay, what's there, like, you know, because strawberries got like little pits or whatever, little bits in it, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's what that, you know, it's like real strawberry shit, you know? And then when I look, you know, after I saw the little sprig of broccoli on the end of my fucking picholi god, I look in a fucking, you know, little bathroom where I spit the shit, right? In the garbage pail. And I see the cherry lip and there's fucking green bits in it. And it was from the fucking, it was from eating the fucking, you know, poop hole there with the she had broccoli. You know what I mean? And then, you know, and then I put the lube. I thought it was the lube, but it wasn't. It was like little green bits in this lube, in the lube that I spit. It was broccoli.
Wow. Keith said, I heard that he was pumping gas. Artie Lang made a few $100, if not more. Yes, he was pumping gas. That was part of his community service right here in Seacoast.
Dude, he was fucked when we talked to him.
Yeah, some of these guys, when you see them, like I remember I went to CVS over in Cresco. I went to CVS. I ran in there and I see this skinny black guy, and I thought he was like a crackhead or something. I wasn't sure. He was dressed really down, like everything. It was Chris Rock. And I was like,
really?
Yeah, it was Chris Rock. And I was like,
a lot of those guys are skinny. Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked how he looked. I thought he was sick. I was like, "You getting medicine or something here at CVS?" I mean, you know, and he just was like, "How you doing?" You know, like
you know, a lot of those guys are skinny actors and shit. When you see them, they're like bean poles. They look bigger on TV, but they're like, you know who else was really fucked up when Joe and I interviewed him? Eddie Money. Remember Eddie Money, the singer?
Oh yeah, wasn't he singer? Yes. Yes.
He was lit. You know.
Yeah.
He was really fucked.
Yeah, Dean says a good fish dish is tasty. Salmon and fresh tuna, amazing. Tuna steaks.
Not anymore. Back in the day, I used to eat fish all the time. I don't do it anymore. I'm not talking about pussy. I'm talking about actual fish. I used to eat. Me and my friend would catch the sunnies and shit. We'd eat them fucking thing. I can't eat anything. I don't eat fish anymore.
What about sushi? Why. You don't know sushi either? Sushi?
Joe, I tell you, my friend caught that fucking. He caught a tapeworm from sushi. He pulled 9 feet out his ass and fucking snapped off, and you know there was like another 8 or 9 feet in there, and he had to go to the hospital. He thought for the longest time he had a bad stomach, and he thought when he was shitting that his intestines were hanging out his ass, but it was a fucking tapeworm, and he pulled it, and it snapped and went back up his ass. He pulled 9 feet. He was like, "Holy fuck!"
Really? Wow. Night Rider says, "You guys watched the Gypsy Crusader?" Nope, never seen that.
Never heard of it.
Great White says, "I like tuna and sardines from the Dollar Tree." Yep.
I used to eat sardines too. Sardines and mustard. I used to eat that when I was young. I ate all that shit. I can't eat that now. I used to eat tuna all the time. I don't mind tuna, but it's got to have fucking chopped up bugats and mayonnaise. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be tuna salad. I can't just eat that shit out of can. I used to. You know, back when I was a teenager and competing, I did, but I didn't. It didn't bother me. Now, I would have to like. You know, hold in the hurl.
I only like tuna plain. I don't like onions or like the sell. You know,
no onions. Joe. You know me.
I know you don't like onions. You're not an onion guy.
Eat onions or garlic. I don't like either one of those two. No onions and no garlic.
Luciano says sushi is slang for Asian pussy. Yes. Yes, it's slanted too.
That's racist.
Yeah, that's racist. He's just laughing at that.
Joey's fault. Now you're gonna have to quit. So I said Joe's gonna say I'm gonna leave social media because I said it. You know.
Yeah, where's Joe Pietro going? Where is he going on vacation?
He's going to, I think, Ireland. You know, he goes to Europe. He does that. You know, it's his anniversary. His wife and him. I think they've been together 30 years.
Does he have kids?
He's got 2 kids. His daughter's, I think, 29, and his son is 26, something like that.
Oh wow, that's pretty great. I didn't know that. Everything. Wow, that's pretty nuts. You know, I was going to ask you about the Barbarian brothers too. Were they both really crazy? Like, were they both similar? Both of them were very similar?
Both off the hook. Both of them were nuts. Yup. Both were nuts. I used to have to give them rides home and shit because they had no car. They had no car. I think they lost their license. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I remember they would always bug me. Sometimes I'd be in the middle of a workout and they'd say to me, "Come on, I got to go home. Give me a ride." And I'd be like, "Okay." And in the middle of my workout, I'd have to drive them fucking home and then come back.
Wow. What about Mike Matarazzo?
That was years later, though. That was years later. That was like in 91 when I went there, like again in 91. I mean, I was there a couple times, but I lived there in 81, 82, like that. You know what I'm saying? That's before Larry. People talk about Larry. Larry was much later. You know what I'm saying? I was there in like 81, 82, like that. So the whole time I came home in like 83. But Matarazzo was there, like, you know, I was there a few times. Actually, the time I went there, when he had gotten in a fight, he beat up some guys in the alleyway over there, and the cops came into Gold's and took him out of there. And you know, him and I were in there, and he was a great guy. I got along really well with him, but he's fucking crazy, and he was not to be fucked with. I'm just gonna tell you that now. But that was like '94.
Wow,
that was like '94.
People don't realize. I mean, you've touched all those years of the golden era of bodybuilding between Arnold. And
yeah, I mean, I was in a gym every day. I was such a gym fanatic. I would go to World's Gym in the morning, right? Because that's when you would see like Arnold and all those guys. And then I'd go to Gold's Gym in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be there all the way. Sometimes I'd be there till like fucking 10 at night. You know what I mean? I would eat. I would just, you know, I stayed there. You know what I mean? I had the money. I worked my ass off and I kept the money. So I just, you know, I didn't work when I was out there. I just fucking, you know, lived off the land, so to speak. I mean, not lived off. I mean, I had a place to stay and everything. But what I mean is, you know, I had earned my money to go out there, and then I just wanted to do the whole Gold's Gym experience. So I was out there for almost like 2 years straight, you know, and I just lived out there and I went to the gym every morning. I would walk, you know, walk to the gym. Sometimes I would take a bus because for a while I was living in Long Beach, so I'd have to take a bus. It would take me a while to get there to get out there, and then, you know, but I mean, I'd be there all day, you know.
What'd you like better, Golds or Worlds?
I'm nuts.
I know that.
Okay. World's Gym at that time did not play music. Okay. So there's no music. You just lift weights. Right. I kind of like that. I don't listen to music when I train.
I like to look like Mike and the Mad Dog and stuff like that.
Yes. If it was up to me, I would listen to like either the Ball Game or Mike and the Mad. I used to listen to Mike and the Mad Dog back then. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Or I loved the Michael K show on ESPN. I listened to that. But I like to, you know, that kind of shit. All right. So I liked Worlds. It was kind of closed, but, you know, close knit and shit. And for basic shit, certain body parts I did at Worlds, you know, like I used to do like chest and shit like that at Worlds. And then I go to Gold's, and at Gold's I would, you know, because Gold's had so much equipment, but it wasn't the big gym. It was just that one room. Now it's fucking huge. You know, they added all these other rooms onto it. But, you know, I liked it. It had a variety of equipment, and the characters were at Gold's. During the day, it was fucking great. About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, forget about it. They were all insane. World's Gym was more serious, you know. I used to train sometimes with Joe Bucci. I don't know if you remember him. You know, there was a lot of, like, Bertil Fox was being a gym. Nobody liked him, though. Yeah, nobody liked him. He wasn't a friendly guy. He was an asshole. I see him over there all the time. You know, you see Franco, you see those guys, you know, they weren't like, you know, they were just I was just the guy in the gym, though. You know, it would almost be like, you know, some guy that you see every day in the gym. You don't know him. He's a young kid now. He's maybe 19, 20 years old or so. He's in the gym. You see him every day. And then, you know, years later, he becomes somebody, and he comes up to you and says, dude, I used to go to, you know, 30 fucking years ago, whatever, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't like buddies with these guys, but I used to see him in the gym. I would talk to them sometimes, and nothing, you know, and I look totally different than I do now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you used to work out outside too.
I was I hear like something coming back at me. Do you hear that? Oh no. Okay. Okay. Now it stopped for a split second. I heard this like wicked reverb. Yeah, I worked out like, you know, because Gold's Gym had a balcony. You know, a lot of you guys seen it in the videos. Now this is the not Gold's Gym, World's Gym. This is the original World's, not the shit that's there now. The original World's Gym had a balcony, and it fucking, you know, that's where I used to see all the time, you know, Joe Gold, and he used to break my balls. The man with the New York tan, because everybody out there was tan. Is, you know, I'm talking about in the wintertime, I'm fucking pale white, you know what I mean? And he used to break my nuts like you wouldn't believe. And, you know, I'd go out there and I'd try to get a little tan while I'm working out, because they had you know, they had all the cable machines. So a lot of times I do shit that and the cable machines out there. And it was painted with like swimming pool paint, you know what I mean? So it was like waterproof. It was pretty good. I liked all that shit. But, you know, there was nothing like Gold's Gym during the day, because it was characters. I mean, you could just sit back and like, you know, holy shit.
Wow. Well, Greg, it's our time's up right now. It went by really quick.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we went by almost 1 hour and 5 minutes almost.
Holy Christ.
Thank you, Ruben Sanchez, Luciano, Knight Rider.
Thank you, all you guys.
Todd, you know, John Sawley, feel better. William Allen, hope you get those squatters out of there. Keith,
Yeah.
Dan, of course, everyone. Love you guys. Thank you for coming in every week with us.
Fuck them squatters, man. I hate that shit.
Oh, yeah. They're on. All right. Damn. Well, Greg, I will see you. I'll talk to you in a little bit, Greg. Thank you, brother.
All right. Yeah, Joey. I'll talk to you in a few.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.